What's up? What's up? Oh, my fire ain't going out, y'all. Let me turn my volume up. Hold on. Make sure we're good. Hey. What's going on? Hey, love. That's my son. You can stalk me, love. My favorite stalker. My baby boy. It's his birthday yesterday. Y'all tell him happy birthday. My baby had his 22nd birthday in the building. Prowl on. Yeah. Get on. What up? Angelique Bates in the building. She's going to be joining in a second. We're talking about these post-election vibes, y'all. Post-election vibes. Happy G-Day. Yeah. Queenie C88 said happy G-Day. Yep, hold on. Let me see if I can get Angelique in here. Oh, what's up, friend? Ain't seen you in a minute. How was LA, girl? Grand arrival. Yeah, that's right. King is in the building, my little king. Going on. Thank you so much for saying. Who's that said that? Hold on. Ecstasy said everything you pop. I pop every time you pop up. I keep remembering. I've been meaning to watch Titan. That was my comfort show. Loved you on there. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's see if we can get Angelique in here again. Hold on. It always takes us a couple times, you guys. So please be patient. So, what's impossible? My son turning 22? What we talking about? Him still a baby. Him is a baby. Okay. It always says that we give us a minute. It always says she's unable to join for a second, and then so request again, and got you in there. I'm sitting by this fire, y'all. It was cold. I am in Colorado. We are expecting 12 inches of snow. It's snow. I wanted to like do the window so you guys could see it snowing, but it's like reflection, so y'all ain't gonna be able to see it. We should have done it in the daytime so you guys could see it. But anyway, she's coming on. I know Angelique. Hold on, maybe let me see if I can send her request, an invite. There we go. Send you an invite. Let's see if that works better. There you go.
What's up?
With it. What's
All
up?
right, there we
Um,
go.
Countess Realness L. What's going on in the building?
Chilling like a villain.
Yes, girl.
I put my glasses on so I can see these comments.
I know. I should have put mine on because I'm sitting back further now because I'm like close up. Yeah, it's so weird because I'll be like I'm supposed to wear them to watch TV, and then you know how we grab our phone and be doing stuff, and then it's blurry, and I'm like, oh my god, I gotta pick one.
Right. I know, right?
Yeah, what's that? So that means I'm what, nearsighted if I need them for far away, or
Why do I always ask every single time? Girl, I don't
I don't even know. I've been wearing glasses my whole life. Ain't got nothing to do with age, y'all. I had to always sit at the front of the class because I couldn't read the chalkboard. So, hello, Taurus. What's going on? Everybody that's joining, we'll give you guys a few minutes. As you can see in the title, we are talking about post-election vibes. We want to know how you guys are feeling. Listen, I got a little drink because,
I should have opened mine. I got the bottle. I just didn't open it.
yes. So,
That might be for
yeah,
TikTok if we do TikTok.
yeah. So definitely, we need some. Who's that? So yes, we're gonna give you guys a few minutes to jump in. We'll be on here for a little bit to talk to you guys. It's been a lot going on, y'all.
Yeah.
Since the 5th, it's been a little crazy.
Yeah.
And what's
Been busy.
so crazy? Like if y'all saw my post about like yesterday and then today, I had like 2 pictures up because I'm in Colorado, and literally it was that. That was not a fabrication. Like it was sunny and bright. It's always a little, well, not always, but like I have a view of Pikes Peak, so that's really high up. So it's snow up there a lot of times when it's not down here because it's really high elevation. So there's a little snow on that mountain. But when I tell you, like right after the results pretty much came out, the snow fell. I was like, yeah, it's a cold day in America. It's a cold day. And it has not stopped.
What's up, K?
Okay. Huh?
Oh, no, I was saying what's up to K Tut. I think I
Oh,
said it.
okay. Yeah. Yeah. Just Soul in the building.
Yeah,
Y'all make sure you
yeah,
guys
too.
go stream his song Fall. My son has a new song out called Fall. It's on all the platforms. Make sure you guys stream that.
Do
And
that.
then we have our Christmas song Jolly Holiday on the way as well. It was supposed to drop on Halloween, but we had some difficulties, some technical difficulties, but it's on the way. Trust and believe it is on the way. So y'all make sure you guys stream that as well. But yeah, we are just wanting to kind of check in with everybody. We couldn't do the live this week without mentioning the election. Like we went back and forth. We were like, should we? Shouldn't we? Like, what is
Right.
this safe? But we want to know how you guys are feeling. No matter what side you're on, whether you voted red or blue, I am respectful of the difference of opinions. I'm proud and blue though. I'm gonna go ahead and say that I voted for Kamala all day, and you know, she didn't win. It's disappointing, but we respect everybody's choices in the matter. I've just been like weirded out by the post vibes. Like it's weird. It's weird to me this time around. And most times I'm not real political. Like, I'm just not that I don't vote or anything, but I'm just not all into politics. This time I was kind of glued to the television and wanted to hear what both candidates had to say. There's such a vast difference between the two of them that it's like it was it was like I couldn't take my eyes off of the television most times. And then my mom is like, she ain't gonna let you escape it. So I'm in Colorado with my mom. She's not gonna let you escape it. So we've been watching everything pretty much from the beginning, and um, there are vast differences in the two candidates, but I think what my issue is with this election, I mean, she started late, to be fair. She started late running. She didn't have ample time to really campaign. So for the time that she was allotted, I have to say she did pretty well. There's some people that's like, she lost by a landslide, and no, not exactly. That's not the case. And there are some rumors about some ballots not being counted. I have given up on the idea of any kind of recount or anything like that. They're not gonna do that. But it's the vibe of America right now. And I think what's really weird for me is the attitude of a lot of Black folks on this. It is. I know that it's not about black and white, but I think the red party has made it that way. It is, unfortunately, it is what it is. And the level of disrespect that Vice President Kamala is receiving is the problem for me. It's something that I haven't seen before. I mean, I know that a woman being in power is something that most of America has to get used to, or that they may or may not be ready for. That's one argument. We kind of went through that with Hillary when she was running, but this is a little different. I think it's more so that she's a woman, but not only that she's a woman, she's a Black woman. And I think that didn't sit well with most of America. And the level of disrespect that she's receiving is what does not sit well with me. And even though, the Republican Party won, even though Donald Trump won, it's like after the fact, though. We still have a whole lot of lies being spewed out there. There's a whole lot of disrespect. TikTok is going crazy, with the amount of Black men that are just calling her out her name, calling her stupid and uneducated. And I mean, if you have listened to these two parties speak, like, I mean, she's the uneducated one. Like, this man can hardly pronounce the stuff that's coming out of his mouth half the time. He's a clown. He's always clowning. I mean, there's no decorum with some of his speeches. I mean, he rambles, and then the lies. It's like, there was a reporter that caught the audience when he's like, oh, we have these crowds, and it was this and it was that, and people were just walking out. Half the place was empty. So it's like a lot of this stuff is lies. And then, it's hard not to win when you got somebody like Elon Musk giving out $1 million every day. We don't even talk about that. like a lot of people that I talked to didn't know that. The people that were like, I'm in the middle, I don't have a side, I don't know who to vote for, they didn't see half of the rhetoric. And that is a problem for me. I don't have a problem if you take an opposite stance from me. I have a problem when you don't educate yourself on what it is you're taking a stance on. How do you not see these things and say, I don't know who to vote for? Like, it's weird to me. And I think that it's irresponsible, you know. And then there's some people that are like, oh yeah, well, deal with it. It's only gonna be 4 years, blah blah blah. Not when this man's telling us we ain't gotta vote no more. Like, that's when he's telling us he wants to be a dictator from day one. So it's like, you know, with him being in office and with them passing the law that he can't be prosecuted for anything as a sitting president is scary to me. So that means I can go shoot you in the face, but I'm president. They can't do that. Like, what? I don't know. I don't know. And the level of emotion, the amount of arguments I have gotten on social media with people, no matter how you say, listen, you know, state your claim, but do it respectfully, don't matter. And it's like they go out their way to say these things. And I've even gotten into it with family members. If y'all on my Facebook, child, you saw me yesterday. I went in on one of my family members, and I did not care whatsoever, because I don't know, he effed around and found out. That's all I got to say. So real bad. So, and he's a Trump thumper. And then the other thing too is the big thing here is really, you know, one of the points I want to make about, you know, we don't see a lot of like discussion about policy right now. We see a lot of discussion about religion. And, you know, Facebook is full of scriptures. It's like, you know, the people are quoting, she is the Antichrist. Like, she the Antichrist? Like, really? Not the orange guy? Like, if we're gonna be throwing stuff out there like that, like, why is she the Antichrist? Because she threw somebody out of her rally? Like, you know, people are out here like, she denounced God in your faces and you're still. And I'm like, when did that happen? Because she threw somebody out of her rally that was hollering for Trump in the name of God. And it's like, that was not the time or the place. He was in the wrong place, and she was right to kick him out of there or to say what she said. But that doesn't mean she doesn't love God. You forgot about her being in church. You forgot about her talking about growing up in the church. You forgot about her being in that black church. CNN aired it live when she gave her speech at one of the black churches. I forgot the church, forgive me. But it's like, there's nothing that she's giving that says, you know, I'm an atheist. So it's very weird. But you know, one of the points that I like to make to a lot of people is that we don't want church and state to be combined. You know, coming from somebody that has lived in the countries that lead, some countries that lead by religion. You know, I lived in Turkey, I lived in Saudi Arabia, I was born in Germany, and you know, so that's not one of those places. But I was a military brat, and like, it's one thing when you see it on the news, but when you live in those countries and you experience that energy, it is scary. And we are not ready for that here in America. We're just not. And it's like, I am not knocking anybody for loving God or leading, you know, with religion or quoting scriptures even, but that's just all we're doing right now. And I love God just as much as y'all. We are spiritual. But that's for your household. Like, we want America to raise our kids. It's like, you need to be raising your kids, you know. And my thing about the Bible is the Bible says we have free will. So let people have that. But when you combine the two, it is dangerous. You know, I lived in country. I literally, like, I remember I was about 12. We were in Turkey. My mom was at the dentist's office. We come out the dentist's office and we're downtown. Incirlik is where we were living. And there was a terrorist group called Death Soul at the time. And of course, they were a Muslim terrorist group. And literally, they had just shot somebody down in the middle of the street. And they were covered in newspaper, blood soaked, covered in newspapers, ingrained in my head, you know, as vivid to me in my head. Because as a kid, of course, I mean, it was a shocker to all of us. But as a kid, you're like, what is happening? Hearing bombs going off in the background when we first landed in Turkey, like hearing that, I remember ducking under my bedroom window. Like, I'm scared. Like, and I was probably being extra because we didn't, live on the base. We lived outside of the base. It's called the village or whatever, just outside the gate. So, we lived amongst the natives, and you see what it really is. And in Saudi Arabia, Thursday and Friday are their weekend. So Friday is like Sunday to them. It's their Sabbath. And on the Sabbath, behind the behind the mosque downtown, in their big mosque in the parking lot, they do a public head chopping in the name of the Quran. And you go see. And I remember being downtown once again, and they encourage you, even the kids and all, they encourage you to go see it, to go watch it. My uncle was working over there as well. He actually saw it, and he was like, don't go because you won't sleep right after that. It's like, don't go see that. Not that we had a desire to, but the idea, we didn't, we forgot what day it was. So we seen like hundreds of people, just hundreds of people going. And we were like, oh my God, it's Friday. Wow. And so like, couple blocks from us, they were about to chop somebody's head off. Mm-hmm. And when they're done, they hose down the parking lot, and everybody cheers when the head falls. Like, get caught stealing. When we got on the plane, they give you a pamphlet, and it's in red, and it's like, get caught with some drugs on you, because drugs and alcohol are not allowed in the country, but people smuggle it in, of course, just like they do here. Sneak some meat. I don't care if it's a little bit of weed. Death. Punishment by death in red. Like, I wish I had it when I was a kid. I just remember looking at it, and I wish I still had one of those just so I could show you guys, because it's so crazy to see that. You get caught stealing, they're chopping hands off. You get caught cheating like a woman, they're stoning you in public to death. My father had a coworker who was like, they used to make homemade alcohol on the compound and stuff, because of course you can't buy it. So all the civilians had their little pet. They would make what they call Sadiq, which was like moonshine and wine. And so they don't celebrate Christmas over there, of course. And he wandered outside the gates. He was a little drunk, and they have these religious police, they call Matawas, and he told that Matawa Merry Christmas. And he was like, and they gave him, because he was an American, because we were in, with all of that being done, we were still considered to be in one of the more liberal cities in Saudi Arabia, Incirlik. Not Incirlik, that's Turkey. Jeddah is where we were in Saudi Arabia. So he gave him a choice, and he was like, you could either lose your job, and kind of contract money, the contract money is tax free. Y'all know what that is. If y'all don't know, it's a lot. It's a significant amount of money that people go over there for. And then he had a choice: either lose your job and go home, or get caned publicly. So he got 67 lashes from the top of his head to the bottom of his feet publicly. My dad said he was whelped up. And they disciplined. He's overseas now. He's in Iraq right now. No, he's back in Saudi Arabia. He was in Iraq. But even in Iraq and Afghanistan, they have those towers. They catch you out there doing something you're supposed to do. They publicly caning people, like publicly, in the name of the Quran. So these are the things y'all don't want here. You do not want people to start getting this attitude of, like, even if it's not ingrained in our law, y'all saw what happened the last time that man was in office. You saw how brave these white supremacists got. You saw in Atlanta, Karens were getting mollywopped in the convenience stores because they were just nigger and all that. They're brave with it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, this is what we want. Like, why are we not focusing on politics? Why are we not focusing on the fact that this man said he wants to be done with the Constitution? We are a constitutional nation. Like, what type of safety net are we going to have? And the fact that Black men are being the loudest and the most ignorant about this, y'all are the least protected in there. I mean, we ain't protected either. But y'all saw what the police were doing to all of us. How many names are we hashtagging right now? Because of the last time he was in office. So I'm like, listen, you know what I'm saying? It's one thing if you want to vote for him, but the way y'all are going in is weird to me. Like, we forgot that quick? What is happening? What has been your experience with this? Like, have you run into some of the same rhetoric? Like,
we?
Yeah.
Lord Jesus, girl, it's the stuff that I've seen in person, the stuff that I've seen on social media. Like you said, it's one thing. Your belief is your belief, but it's definitely the ones that are loud and wrong for me. My thing is, at least make sure you do all the fact checking. You know, make sure you know everything, like
Yeah.
from A to Z to pass. You know, if that's who you want to, if that's who you want, cool,
Yeah.
whatever rocks your boat.
Right.
But what gets me is when I hit several people, I'll be like, okay, well, what about this? Or like even when you said about the Constitution, people didn't know about that. And that's the part for me when it's just like, one person was just like, wait, I didn't know about the Constitution. I was like, oh, this conversation is over. So it's just like, what are we talking about?
I'm done talking to you at that point, because it's like, well, what have you been doing all this time? You're real strong in your opinion. It's one thing if you're a little complacent and you're like, I don't really know, I'm sorry, you haven't. But when you're strong with it and you haven't seen half, these are highlighted things that this man has said. I mean, you can watch The View and they'll run it down for you. I mean, you don't have to sit here and watch CNN, but how ignorant is that? To just because there's so much at stake.
They
You know.
already they already mentioned. I mean, like I said, if you just go back and look at this, don't freak. If you want to talk about, oh, the media is lying, then just go back. All you have to do is just go back and listen to what he said.
That's it. It's
Like whatever
highlighted. I
came
mean,
out of his mouth, because I don't even really pay attention to the media. I've been listening to what actually came out of his mouth, and I've always been told, if a person's telling you their colors, believe them. Like, don't
believe
paint them something
them.
else.
Believe them.
Yeah, believe
Like,
them. Because even down to, you know, they already mentioned the SSI. They already mentioned the Medicare and things that they want to cut. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people did not listen to that. That had nothing to do with media. That came out of the man's mouth.
yeah,
It was something.
even when it comes to overtime, people are like, yay, no taxes on overtime. But he also said, like, you ain't get paid for overtime at one point, too. So you can work 14, go on and cheer. Because when you don't get overtime at all, that's why it ain't taxed. Because it ain't considered overtime no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, just really listen to what's being said,
He's saying it.
and he's
Like,
saying
but
it.
then
And
I
whether or
got
not,
people that it's like, I don't know. This one has been weird because then it's like, those that did hear him say it, it's kind of like, oh well. It's like, oh well, literally. It's like, what you mean, oh well? Like, but what? Like I can't even wrap my brain around it.
yeah, like you told me, dude, was just like, well, people say stupid stuff sometimes. Like, what? We're talking about the president of the United States. You got people around you that are like, should be going through what you're about to say with a fine tooth comb because it's so imperative. But that's not, he's not, he doesn't receive the same energy as Kamala. Like, she had to be absolutely perfect with every word, every move. Even when Biden slipped up and said, the garbage remark, which he was like, I was like, oh God, we don't need this when he said it. But I knew what he meant, but it was like she had to be quick to like clean that up because they hold her accountable for so much, like everything.
They were holding her accountable for everything. Then it were certain ones that they heard what he said, but then it was but we got the free money. But then when that myth was busted, it was like nobody was hearing that was still Obama's. That
That's it.
came
And
from his.
that's the case with all presidencies. It always overlaps to the next term. So the work that Obama did was just starting to take effect, and then it bled over into the next term. So
And they
he
didn't get to him.
inherited,
I mean, yeah,
yes, he inherited Obama's economy. And let's talk about these checks though. Everybody wants to is hollering about the stimmies. Whether he didn't give them to y'all, like whatever. He signed his name on it like he did, but regardless, it was a collective effort. But we're talking about $1,200, y'all. $1,200. What in the world was life changing about that? Because it was free money. Like if you had some kids, you might have got a couple more dollars, but people are acting like that $1,200 was $12 million. Like, why is that a thing? And it was a pandemic. So they had to do something. Anybody that was in office would have done something because they had to at that point. So giving him all of this credit is so crazy to me. Like what else are we gonna do? How about do we forget that he closed the office? Did we forget how many people died during COVID because of that man? Do we forget that he told us that he was talking about injecting us with bleach? Do we forget about these expired vaccines? Now, I know somebody that
Yes.
knows somebody at the CDC, and I saw the text messages. And this is somebody that has, I'm not going to say who it was, but y'all know these people. Y'all know
That's what I'm
significant
saying.
people. And I saw them. We were at lunch. We were having a business meeting, and I saw the text messages. And he was like, "Yo, you see this?" And I was like, "And the old girl worked at the CDC." And he was like, at that time he was confused about whether or not he even wanted to get the vaccine. And he showed me the text messages. We were having a discussion, and I was like, "Yeah, no, 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 not for me. It doesn't make sense." And they were like, "Yeah, if you're gonna get it, I would wait." Because right
Right.
now they're trying to push the expired ones. The expired, and I'm not sure if it was Pfizer or Johnson, but like at one point they were expired vaccines they were just trying to get rid of. And so they were pushing it real hard. And she was like, I would wait if I were you until this round is out. So
And
it's like
then the attack on security.
the national security is very it is a concern because of their affiliations with Putin. And when Trump won, Putin was like, hallelujah. Like, that don't scare y'all. That does not scare y'all. And I posted, and I hope you guys, do go. If you have not seen it already, please go watch Leave the World Behind on Netflix. It is a movie produced by Michelle and Barack Obama. And as far as I know, I don't think they're in the movie business. But the fact that they took the time to do this movie and did it as well as they did, they're trying to tell you something. And in that movie, it is a point that they're making about, nations. We made a lot of enemies, is what was it, Kevin Bacon. He was like, we made a lot of enemies, and now they teaming up to come invade America. Long story short. So
Mm-hmm.
when you and right now in real life, what Korea is linked up with Russia all of a sudden, like why? You know what I'm saying? So it's very reflective of what's in that movie. Like Hollywood has always done that. It's always been
Right.
like, okay, put it in movies. People think it's a lie. They think it's entertainment, and then it's like, we told you. So it's off, this weight is off their shoulders. Like, hey, we try to tell you. Y'all don't believe me. Hey, but we told you. So, those things are not to be dismissed. And, the coincidence is uncanny. So I'm like, I have always felt in my gut, like, we got to be ready for things to get a little crazy, and we've seen a little bit of evidence of that. But now
It's
I'm
just crazy.
not so sure.
And then he already mentioned that he's going to release, well, pardon, the same thing, but pardon some of the Capitol people, some of them, because other ones went too far, but some of them are going to get pardoned. It's just like, what? There's people that got killed when that happened.
I guess I think it was Street 94.5 just posted they dismissed all them charges. They out of there, done. They were delaying them, but now it's like, oh, okay, we just gonna get it. We just gonna do away with that. And the sexual harassment case that he was being prosecuted for, the lady was awarded $80 million. Like, this is a criminal. And we are just like holding her accountable. She's the dumb one. She's the scamala is what they calling her. Like, where is she scamming us at? Like, what are we talking about?
I know felons that
You know?
can't even get a job, and they have changed. They're like haven't did crime and God knows when,
Right.
and literally over decades. And I'm not talking about just 2 3 years, like decades. It might
Yeah,
have been something that they did when they were a kid,
yeah,
or you know what I'm saying, like 17 hitting 18, and
yeah.
they are still suffering for being a felon.
And could not vote this election or any other, but he did. You know, So and I had a high school friend that was talking about that on my Facebook, and somebody came and I had to get on his head because he was like, "Shut up or do something about it. It's written in the books. Like, felons can, go on with their lives and be a part of society, but they can't run for they can't get a decent job. They can't vote. So how is this man running for office though? Why are the rules different for him? For the person that's leading us. If y'all gonna make it right for him, make it right for everybody."
Right. And yeah, the deportation, yeah, that's true. But a lot of people aren't even realizing, that's not just the Mexicans, right? You do know what illegal means, right? That means that hits everybody. It's not.
But the amount of immigrants that are for this man is another thing that's weird for me. It's really weird. Like,
I know people that are hit right now that it's like I don't think you guys realize how many illegal immigrants there are, and some of them are teachers. Believe it or not, some of them are your favorite maid, your
right.
your favorite neighbor.
That being said, that just to bring the point up about the immigration thing, that was a big point during the campaign, was that people didn't like her because she was allowing so many immigrants to come into the country. And so then I saw one speech where Trump had like a family there that had lost their son because of the cartel. And these crimes exist, yes. And I was extremely sorry to hear that these people had lost their son, and it was really recent. But the fact that you're trying to paint this as all the crime in America is due to immigrants is crazy to me. Because, okay, I want to see that wall go up. I want to see you go ahead and clean up the immigration situation, and then I want to see crime go to zero. I want to see no more pedophiles. I want to see no more missing children. I want to see no more women being sex trafficked. And then we're going to see who's responsible for it. If y'all think that's all because of immigrants, then y'all are sadly mistaken.
Wait, stop. Flag on the field. Flag on the field. Flag on the field. Just read the comments. I'm gonna let you address that because that is that comment that is just like
Where we at?
that's how I know that y'all did not do your research because that is the running comment right there.
Trying to
You
find
see it?
it.
It's the very last one near the bottom. It won't be 4 years if he succeeds with what he's trying to do.
Is that the Trump supporters, Jelani?
Nah, it says y'all. It's only 4 years. We're gonna make it through.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the other thing. You're right. If that's the case, we could. But what he is trying to do, and everybody missed that comment. Well, I won't say everybody, but a lot of people missed the comment where he said, "Y'all will not have to vote again if I get in office." What's that mean? That means I'm trying to be the king of America. That means this is now a dictatorship. And they've also passed this law where he can do what he want to do. So that's the scary part. And now that the House and the Senate and everybody is all his people, it's even scarier. I mean, I'm sure we have a few exceptions there, but at the same time, it's like you get all your people in the seats, and you're the boss. It could very well happen, and if he don't get offed before beforehand, which I think he might have to really watch his back. The first two attempts, I'm sorry, whoever disagreed with me, I think they were staged all day. I don't think those were real attempts, but there will be one if that man passes that law and decides he didn't want to leave office the first time. The fact that that even came out your mouth is crazy to me. Like,
That's just the main thing for me. Like I said, everybody can vote for whoever they wanted to vote for, but know all of the facts. And like I said, it forget the media. Just listen to what comes out the man's mouth.
yeah, I mean, the fact that you want that, why do you want to be a dictator? Why do you want to be like in office for the next 30 years? Like, I mean, we have never been that as America. So it's like that's the scary part. Because we're not just dealing with somebody we don't like. We're dealing with somebody that is trying to take us back to ancient times. And then once somebody is in office for 4 years, their policies spill over. So it ain't going to end in 4 years. Even if he gets out of office in 4 years, there's going to be so many things in place that are going to spill over beyond that. It's not going to be that. I mean, the price of groceries going up has affected all of us, but that is literally what I feel like has driven this campaign. Gas and eggs went up, and they like, he going to bring the price of gas and eggs down, so we going to vote for him. Like, really? All the other things don't matter. And the whole abortion ban, even overturning Roe versus Wade is crazy because how long has that law been in place? But there are so many, like you can have your stance pro-life, pro-choice. Like I said, no arguments with that. I won't even say whether I'm this or that. What I am for is free will and people's personal choice because sometimes it's a life or death situation. You know, a lot of times people that are having abortions that don't want to that do want a kid very very badly, and it's devastating that they have to do that. A lady just died in Texas because she had a medical issue and the doctor didn't want to perform an abortion because he didn't want to be prosecuted. Like, this is so dangerous. It is so dangerous, you know. And people are on Facebook making memes with guns that say guns don't kill. Planned Parenthood does. What? So tell that to the people that lost their children in that mass shooting. Like, what are you talking about? Guns don't kill. Like, people with guns kill, yes. But it's like at the end of the day, I'm not saying we shouldn't be packing because I'm about to go find me one soon. I'm not saying that. Okay, especially now. But I'm not
Yo,
saying that. But it's like we need to regulate gun laws. We need to have more background checks. We need to be a little bit more like, why are you giving you know, somebody that you haven't even given a mental? Why are you even? Why do people have AK-47s? Like we're in war or something. You know what I'm saying? But it's like there's no mental evaluations. There's no like nothing. It's like, okay, well, background check and you're of age. Here's a gun.
123 just said it's been said that he is psychologically gone and can barely hold a sentence in military meetings. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, and
Go
there's
ahead.
in the other comment, I think the government already knew who was going to be a president. To be honest, I mean, hey, look,
Now I can agree with that. Now
okay,
I think there was a plan. I think there was a plan in motion. That was part of Kamala's campaign. She had a lot of those sponsored ads. There was actually a clinical psychologist evaluating this man and analyzing all of his speeches and said the same thing. He's not mentally sound, which I could believe that. You know, I lived in New York City when he was a real estate, just a businessman. You know, I wanted to be on The Apprentice. You know what I'm
I think
saying?
a lot of people did.
Yeah, I was, girl, badly. You know, I didn't like the man, but I used to like respect his business and different things like that. But you know, he's 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 more racially driven now than I've ever seen before. I mean, we know they said he wouldn't rent to black people and stuff like that, but I did see where I remember being in New York and there was an older white lady in Atlantic City because, you know, Atlantic City got all the casinos and it was like prime real estate. She had been in her house for umpteen years and he bought the, like, ripped that lady's land from up under her, didn't care, was like, yeah, whatever, go find somewhere else to live. So it's people that are beneath him that he really don't like. So all these people that are not in the same tax bracket as a lot of these other Republicans that are hoping and hollering for this man, yeah. You know, you could say, okay, maybe not a racist, which I don't believe at this point, you know, because more his stuff has come out with his dad being, you know, part of the Klan and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, let's play devil's advocate. Maybe he's not, but he surely ain't for poor people. He don't like when people ain't got no money. Trump wanted the Central Park Five executed. Yes, they served him on election night for defamation. They weren't even guilty. So all these black men hollering, I'm like, he don't give a about you. Like, what are you talking about?
Yep, they
What is
sure
that?
did just serve him.
What do you say? You know
Huh?
what I'm saying? Huh? And he
Y'all
said
just
it because he said it recently, and that's why he got served because he said it recently. And
yep, they
you know they're
just
not
served
guilty.
him.
Yes,
Election night, he got served
right, because
by the.
he just said it during his campaign, which is like they weren't guilty though. So why are you even talking about them being executed?
Mm-hmm.
This is crazy. So this is where I'm like, what's happening right now? Like, what's really going on? Did he pay y'all? Did y'all drink some Kool-Aid that we don't know nothing about? What is it? You know, because then the thing is, like my mom was saying, she was like, you know, even when you ask people, you know, I don't really like the man, but I'm for his policies. Okay, well, what policies? Because maybe I'll like them too. they can't give you hardly an answer. It's that his economics, his okay, because he got money and he's all about the money. That's what you're talking about. That don't mean he gonna make sure you get it. What are we talking about? Like, give me some facts. We're talking
And
about selection vibes. What's up? What's up, Derek? DM Easton in the
I
building.
will say
Yes.
that, it's definitely, I know people that have been affected both sides, and like everything that's pretty much at risk right now, I know somebody from each and every one of those. And what I will say is that it's very unfortunate. Like I said, I don't, it's something different about this one, or just in general when it comes to him.
Yeah.
The level of hate that the supporters, his supporters, spew out every time there's a win.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it's one thing. Okay, you won, cool, whatever. Even when Obama won, the energy from the supporters was different between night and day. And when it comes to his supporters, especially what I'm even seeing currently right now, even to like a couple minutes ago before I got on, stuff that's happening on Facebook. Like I know people that's, LGBT, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just the level of hate that is coming at them. It's like, you won, okay, cool. But then why you gotta sit here and be like, well, yeah, such and such and such and such, and y'all this and that. It's like they're just using it as an excuse to already be who they were.
Yeah. And yeah, white women were the ones that she couldn't turn. They were very disappointing for sure. Honey, you trying to not piss your husband off because I couldn't figure it out. They were talking about that on the View, like they don't want to split up that household, baby. Because why are you supporting that man like that? Like the fact that he even talks to us the way that he does, and it's like I'm gonna protect the women whether they like it or not. Like that's sort of like you could have said that different because that whole whether you like it or not vibe, that mansplaining you over there doing, that don't sit well with a lot of women. So the fact that you couldn't overturn, but I feel like because it was white women, they had white husbands, they didn't want to piss off probably. But at the end of the day, like you said, the energy is so different. The level of hate. No, people, instead of them celebrating, they still spewing hatred.
Right.
And
It's like you
I
won,
told
right?
so many people that, like, I saw a post today, y'all, and I promise you I wanted to go through the phone. It was from a black man, and he was like, yeah, I hope Instagram will give me, I'm going to say how he said it. He was like, yeah, the bitch lost just like bitches do.
Man, that's what I'm telling you. And there was a post by some white guys, and they had pulled up on somebody, and they were just like, oh yeah, maybe try again in another 4 years, you in. Like that, you know what I'm saying? Like the energy,
The energy, yeah, I've seen screenshots of it where somebody was like stupid as ninja, but it's white dude that said it to black dude, my friend. And he was like, oh, he wanted to call me the N word so bad. I said, pretty much did. He
he
doesn't want to get that
did.
page. He don't
That's
get that
exactly what he
page.
did.
Like
How do
that
y'all
type of energy
feel
is like
about?
this is what he's inciting. He didn't gave all of these hating white supremacists, horrible people a bowl of courage. They all waking up eating a bowl of courage every morning because the stuff that they're brave enough to come out and say we've never seen it before.
Right.
You might have been thinking it.
They said, "How do we feel about the Cardi B speech and Megan's performance?" I will say, I feel like there should have been other selections. I am not in agreement with. I wouldn't have chose that.
Yeah, because the problem with that is that, and here's the thing, because even with the whole Atlanta rally that she had, who was that? Was that Megan at that one? Megan Thee
I
Stallion?
believe so.
Yeah, it was a lot of criticism with, she thinks that's what we want, so they were kind of like feeling like she was trying to be look too black.
That I wouldn't
And
have did that.
I'm a little bit torn with it because at first, when they were running, when she was running with Biden and she had the campaign ads and they were like putting them in that, that old 70s sepia tone that they put, and it's like, the big letters looking like a black exploitation movie type vibe. I was just like, that we don't need that because it's like we see you black, we know you black. Like I don't want. Would you do that for the white folks? If you ain't gonna do it for the white folks, don't do it for us. Like let's. But I also feel like we shouldn't apologize for being black either. because somebody on Facebook was like, don't you think it's racist because how she try to like change up her talk when she's talking? I'm like, is she though? Because she went to Howard. She used to be they people held it against her, but she's a dancer, so she used to do like music videos. She used to date Common, but at the end of the day, like, I'm that girl. You know what I'm saying? People will look at me, and I have been like, what can you cook, honey? Who you? Who you? Why? Because I'm light skinned? Because I got different kind of features? Like, what you think I will cook your grandmama under the table, though? Like, stop playing with me. Don't nobody make, you know what I'm saying? Like, I make
Facts.
collard greens. The dressing, I do the dressing every year. Stop playing with me. Ask my son. He's on here.
Right.
Because if I don't make the dressing, he is ready to disown me as his mother. So at the end of the day, like, I feel like sometimes, though, we are what's happening sometimes is that we are making it more okay for us to be comfortable with being black. We have all experienced being in front of certain groups of people and feeling like we kind of got to switch up. We can't say certain jokes. We can't do certain things. That's still kind of true. And I get it. They ain't going to get what we're saying anyway. I'm not necessarily going to talk to everybody the same way, but I think we're making it more okay to be like we are at home in public and to not feel like we're being ignorant. We just being ourselves. We're being a part of our culture because don't nobody say nothing when they're like, oh my God, hey my God. Or when you put the little crackle in your voice like Kim Kardashian, don't nobody say nothing about them talking like that. But I think at the end of the day, because of the position she was in, you had to be careful. She had to be careful because there's like no room for error. But I also feel like she was trying to cater to like the younger voters, because a lot of them, even on election night, I seen first time voters come out that had just graduated from high school or that were like first time freshmen in college or whatever. And she brought them out on election day because it was like, so I kind of feel two ways about it, but I don't necessarily think because of this go round, because it's so new, and because we had these arguments about whether or not this woman was black, which is a whole nother thing I want to talk about real quick. She had to be more careful. And unfortunately, don't nobody want to walk on eggshells, but and in Atlanta where it's the chocolate city and where it's this and that, but it's like the black men were the ones that were, like Megan, really, what I'm saying, whatever. But I don't know. I honestly don't know exactly how I feel about that. I kind of see both sides of it. But in her position, she had to be super careful.
Yeah.
But I mean, I had people saying, like she's not black. Jamaica is not black. It's an island. But it's like you ain't seen the picture of her daddy though. Like he's black. Stop playing with me. And her mother is Indian, but it's like so she's South Asian and black. But it's like don't the same way they used to do Tiger Woods. They were mad when he didn't want to say he was black and he said he was Blasian or whatever. Like, don't ask this man to deny his mother though, because if my mama was white, you can't. I identify as a black woman because I look black, and people are probably going to, perceive that I'm black. But if my mom was white, you're not gonna get on my neck for saying that I'm biracial or whatever, because my mom was white. I'm not denying my mother for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree,
She's
and
not.
you are
She's black. Both my parents are black. I'm just saying if they were.
right. No, I agree with you, and you're absolutely right. Like she definitely, it was a catch-20 with her when it came down to this. I feel like just when you're making, just like when you're cooking, she had the ingredients, and I
Yeah.
see what she was trying to make, but she ended up pouring too much.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would have. There's just so many other choices that she could have got. That wouldn't have been it.
So
They wouldn't have been it.
and even the picture of her being in the kitchen and pulling out a bunch of collard greens, or when she was at some cookout, she ate some collard greens. Everything she did was like, okay, you trying too hard to be black. What if she really eat collard greens though?
Yeah, I would say,
Because
well,
I
we're not
do.
talking about the collard greens, but
Right.
I love me some collard
That's what I'm
greens.
saying. Right, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. That's kind of how I felt about the rallying stuff. Like I
Hmm.
kind of felt like you was just kind of you was being you because like listen. I love me some hip hop. I love me some, especially when I'm in the car. I'm a straight thug. Like I love me some hip hop. So it's like I would want to be myself to a certain extent, but you kind of got to play chess, not
Yeah,
checkers. You
because
know what
the
I'm saying?
twerking for me was too much. Like that should never have
Yeah,
made it.
yeah, now that I can say we didn't need to
Yeah,
be doing all that because
yeah,
even when Beyonce came to the rally, she didn't perform, which I was glad that I wanted to see a song, but I was glad she didn't do it because I didn't want it to be made about her performing. I wanted it to be her standing there as a mother and speaking to her supporters and trying to get them to vote based off of that only, and not a Beyonce concert. So it
See,
didn't have to be that concert.
Travis Trent or Garth Brooks. Somebody said she already had the black vote. I don't know why she didn't have Travis Trent or Garth Brooks. That would have been a twist. But you say that as if they support. You don't know who supported her and who doesn't. She might not have been able
Well,
to get
I don't think she all the way had the black vote. Not the way these black men out here hollering. I don't think so. I think,
wait a minute.
but you make a good point about her having a diverse in a selection. I think that would have been a good
Wait
idea. But I
a
also
minute.
not
So
sure.
you watched that one, right? You watched the Atlanta one?
Yeah.
Okay. So someone just said, what about when she wrote a blunt on stage? I don't know if I had made it here yet. Wait, did that? I'm asking you.
Maybe I was there when that happened. I'm not sure because I saw. But wait, what? Or was she simulating that?
Wait,
Did she do it?
yo, they said it in the comment. I can't speak on it because I didn't see it.
Okay, now, cause wait a minute
Oh,
now.
okay.
Wait a
You said
minute.
I'm kidding. I was like, don't play. They said
I was about
that's
to
your
say, hold
people.
up, because I was about to say that now.
That's your people
I'm a
that's
find
playing it.
Kamala's number myself, and because Alicia Keys was out there knocking on doors. That's the homie from high school. I was about to get Alicia's number and be like, Alicia, call Kamala real quick and say, because I need a question answered.
Yo, because I'm like, wait, what? Hold up. I don't know about that.
Myria 123 said if Biden stepped down from the beginning, I think Kamala would have had a better chance. You're absolutely right. She only had 100 days to campaign, and that was like he had a head start. And so with the short amount of time that she had, I think she did well. And I think that nobody's giving her credit for doing as well as she did with that amount of time. And
And, short,
and
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 short, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, and because of that time limit, I think that's why certain choices were made that probably wouldn't have been made because it was a rush.
Yes, it was, and you don't have time to think. It's too many things going on, and then also too, they wanted her to throw Biden under the bus more, and it's like that was out of respect, and I don't fault her for that. She's still the vice president. That's still the president.
Very, very much.
Y'all forgot
At
that
the
man
end of the
still sits in
day.
office. Like, yeah, I think it was a good idea for him to step down. Unfortunately, I felt sorry for Biden. I hated how, it was apparent that he probably couldn't handle it another term, but I think we were a little disrespectful about it. I think he's, I feel like he might be dealing with, some medical issues as well. My cousin used to work with patients that were dealing with dementia, and she said he looked like he had signs of that. So I think it was a good idea for him to step down.
Yeah.
The sleepy jokes are funny, but at the end of the day, she was being respectful of who she works for. That she still got to go to
You
work, y'all.
still got to see them. That's like the husband. That's like being in a marriage. You want me to talk about my husband? I got to go to sleep with this man. Like,
Okay, and then at the end of the day, let's talk about the husband too, because with all these black men TikToking down and calling her everything but a child of God, now you also mad that she has a white husband. Like, cut it out. And y'all should be used to that by now. Like, I mean,
right,
how many mixed couples are out there right now? And at the end of the day, the black men seem the most threatened by a black woman in power, and that's why they go to the white
right.
because they're
But
like,
y'all said she not black
babe,
anyway.
babe, go,
Y'all said she,
babe, you go, babe.
but you said she not black. So what difference does it make? Your
Exactly.
friend said,
Like, which side are you on? And then even their blended family, I love it. His ex-wife, her husband's ex-wife, honey, she got on somebody's head because they said something about Kamala. Like, they are a unit. Okay? And I love to see it. Like, I don't even care, what I'm saying, about black, white, or I love my black men. Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? I love them to death. But at the end of the day, it's going to be, and I would prefer myself to be with a black man, but I'm not going to not be with somebody that's not of color if that's the right person for me. So I don't even think that that's your business.
and your buddy said, Trump's been running for president since he lost. But that's facts. He really has been.
You said it. That man has been running because he just said over and over, I should have never left the office. Like, what choice did you have, Doc? Like, what? You just gonna sit up in there and be like, pull me out. Y'all got to drag Like, it is so weird. He was
But he
talking
would
about
his supporters would have protected him too. They would have been like, nope.
grabbed arms and been like, we are ready to take a bullet for this man. Like, I don't care what y'all say. And the thing is, too, there's the level of respect is totally different between the two, because there's never he never made a concession speech. It's been, we cheated the whole time. When this daggone comedian went up there and called Puerto Rico a floating island of
That
garbage,
was a
he never
joke, girl.
apologized for. Oh, it was a joke, but he never even apologized for him. But when
Right.
Biden said his support, now he shouldn't have said that, and she did correct that.
Period.
But it's just like you had your foot on Biden's neck. But oh, it was a joke.
Yeah.
It was a joke. I don't give a damn. This is a presidential rally, though. He should not have been able to say something. The same way those people go through those speeches with a fine-tooth comb is the same way they should have took extra precaution when you chose to have a comedian up there, because they do say something anything. So you should have made sure that nothing was going to be said that was going to hurt that campaign, but you still got brown people supporting this man. We was just in the grocery store, child, trying to get supplies because we snowed in right now, and mom was in line, and Latina lady was like, now that we have a new regime, girl, if you don't cut it the fuck out. Like, what? That's your prayers, huh? Okay, it's a lot of like half English speaking, like like around here where I'm at right now. So it's like, really? Okay, so them kids you have and don't get, if you got a citizenship, your kids don't automatically have a citizenship. So they said they were going to separate the children from, what are you doing with these children while you talking about the criminals and pedophiles and the sex trafficking? Like, he was the one that was separating children from their
Some
parents.
of
A
those
lot of
kids are
these
still
children are still
lost.
not accountable. They're still not accounted for. Where are these kids? Where are they?
Yep. Some of those kids are still gone.
And while you talking about all the fentanyl and stuff coming in this country, let's be clear. The government, they couldn't get it in here in the first place in the amounts that they're getting if there was not help from the government somewhere. Y'all know that's an old story. The corruption is very high up. Believe it if you want to. But you couldn't even get that stuff in here if it wasn't some type of connection with somebody somewhere up top. So y'all think he's Captain Save All, but we're gonna see what's gonna happen, because those corruptions are still happening, and he moves like a corrupted individual. So I am not convinced that he doesn't have a hand. Why are you friends with the worst enemies of our nation? Why do you want to get rid of NATO? We will have no protection. We will have no protection if he gets rid of it. Like, what? Like, this is it's very weird to me, and it's very close to home. I mean, I'm right here. Well, you can't see it right now, but NORAD is in my view, and that's our aerospace defense commission, and it's just like, it's very much on my mind. It's very much real to me. My dad used to work over there in that mountain when he was in the military, and so I know what goes on. I know some of it anyway, and it's just like, you do away with some of this stuff, we are sitting ducks. It's crazy to me. What kind of deals do you have going on with these people? What's going to happen? People already were questioning 9/11 and wondering if the Bush administration has something to do with that. But you trust this man when he's literally saying these things out of his mouth? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if people even understand what they're co-signing. I'm not sure. We mess around and have a civil war, child. Listen, because we ain't had one in a minute. Y'all think people were at his rally with 1776 shirts on.
Huh.
Did y'all not see that?
Uh-huh.
Y'all ain't see that? Y'all ain't see that? The mentality is what it is. Like, you think because we haven't had this in so long, it's impossible. It's about that time then. History repeats itself. So you think that we can't, it's impossible because we're America. I thought like it was impossible to overturn Roe versus Wade, and it had, like, what? So no, nothing is impossible. But I'm gonna tell y'all can Trump thump You want to co-sign in that? I will be on the next thing smoking. Like I told Angelique, baby, I am a citizen. I'm a dual citizen. So I will be out of this mug. Not only a citizen of the US, I'm a citizen of Germany where I was born. And I will be out of here on y'all asses. Deal with it. I will throw up the deuce. Okay. I will run. And at the end of the day, that's not, what we want to do as Americans. We want to be home, but when home don't feel like home no more, we can go get some land out in the middle of nowhere. But it's black folks that have done that and have been run off their land already. Out here in Colorado. Out here in Colorado. Like, black folks was being ran off their land. And they were off grid. Like, I don't know where we're going with this.
Girl.
Lemuria said if Biden has stepped down, from the beginning. I already read that. Let me see. Is there something else that I missed?
Not really. I mean, there's a lot. Your boy said has those Diddy tapes on Trump. He's stupid.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna let Diddy out. I like the guy. He was like, I like the guy. Snowfall. Derek said Snowfall. Right. Watch Snowfall. Watch all of these movies. I mean, that was a series, but it's a common thing. We've seen it over and over again. It's very true. Where do you think they get these stories from? It ain't fiction. This ain't. Where do you think these stories come from? Stop. Y'all know. You can watch that, and if you don't believe the scripted stuff, there's plenty of documentaries. I love me some documentaries, so you can find plenty of them. Latin people have been anti-black for generations, not all, but many. You're right, because in California, California over there, the area over there by the jungle, Angelique,
Oh
where they got that
man.
divider in the middle of the road. And I remember my Mexican friend was like, yeah, that's the jungle, because we were dropping him off. I was working as an independent contractor for Toyota some years ago, and we had to drop this guy off, and he lived in Watts. And we were on our way to drop him off, and we passed by the jungle. He was like, oh yeah, that's the jungle right there. And he was like, you see that divider? He was like, Mexicans on this side, black folks on this side. We don't really cross because so many people that got killed in that middle that middle
Nope.
section right there. We
Lies.
don't even. So when we pulled up to his house, right? It was in the car was a Mexican, black girl, and a white boy who was from Canada, and we were just in the company vehicle taking guy home. And he was like, just be cool. Just be cool. Like when we pulled up and that them porch lights was off, and like it was like all these Mexicans on the porch with them ankle bracelets, and one looked like Ice Cube. He was sitting there like, whatever. He was like, just act. I was like, just act like you're chilling. Just be regular. Just get out the car. Just be cool. Just greet everybody, because they were looking at us strange. Like, what? This y'all all three of y'all together? What's happening right now? Is this a setup? Right? What? And he told me, he was like, when you leave out of here, stay on the phone with me because I was driving. So he was like, stay on the phone with me until you get on the highway. Because if you turn down the wrong street and it's dark, you bag out, they just might start blasting. Because they don't know who you are and you don't look like you from around here.
No
That's why I
facts.
say, I don't care how light skinned I am. They know I'm not them.
Right.
So y'all can say all of that. You ain't black enough all you want to. I've gotten that from my people, honey.
Right.
Baby, you okay, I ain't black enough, child. I'm black enough to everybody else. Get your
What's up,
life.
Trey? Yeah, no. So it was. I remember. Yeah, because they give zero Fs.
Yeah.
I remember.
What time you are, honey? You black.
I remember I was over there to pick up somebody, and I had my car. It was red and tinted windows, and the person was not ready. And so I had to go hit the block. But there was people outside, and I remember I hit them. I was like, "Yo, you already know we cannot circle the block over here." Like,
See what I'm
I'm
saying?
good, but it doesn't matter if I'm good. Like, it's still a tinted car. And when I say I hit that block the second time, I already knew I had to roll the window down. I was like, "Yo, what's up?" Like,
Yeah. I remember in Texas is like that too. Texas is very divided when it comes to Latinos or Hispanics and blacks. And I was working somewhere, and this guy, he was Hispanic. I don't want to say which country he was from because everybody's not from one place. Can't remember. I want to say he might have been Dominican though, because he looked black. He looked like a light skinned black dude.
mm-hmm.
And we were working, and he was like talking about his dog, and he was saying how his dog, when he sees dark skinned people or black folks, how he goes off. Like, I was like, so did you train him that way? I'm like, well, how he don't bite your ass? Because if I seen you walking down the street, I would have thought you was black. Like, he didn't even have an accent.
That's not the
So it's
first time
like,
I've heard that.
stop playing with me, though. Like, if you get pulled over by the cops, they're not going to ask you which country you're from unless you get out speaking Spanish. They're not going to. The creator of Taina is Dominican, but you look at her, she's to perm her hair just like we did. She looks like a light-skinned black woman until she can hear a little bit of accent. You know, when you talk to her, there's a video of her on my page, so people thought she was Kamala when they saw that video. So she looks like Kamala a little bit. It's like, when it comes to them, we are in the same boat. Black and brown needs to do one of these and get over it. Because you need to understand, they will look at you and think this the same thing about you as they think about us. Get your mind right. Get over it. You know, and I don't know what we got against each other, because our cultures are damn near the same. I grew up in New York City, and so the attitude is a little bit different there. In New York, they're a little bit more together. Puerto Ricans and stuff, we all chill. You know what I'm saying? We get it. Everybody speak a little Spanglish. You know what I'm saying? They kind of speak a little Ebonics. We all kind of, it's a little bit more of a melting pot in New York. And I went to junior high school, and some college in New York. So my experience in New York wasn't that. I didn't get that in New York. But every other part of the country, there's that division, and it's sad. My sister-in-laws are Mexican, both of them. And sometimes we go out and they think we all sisters. Like, it is what it is. My nieces, they look like me, just like me. Skin tone, hair, everything. We look the same, but their mama is Mexican. Like, get over yourself, honey. You are not white at all. Stop. And I'm not saying don't be proud of your heritage. I'm saying you ain't white.
You're better.
Don't think you better and don't think you white. Cut it out.
Because America will let you know quickly that you're not.
Yes. And Jelani said Roe versus Wade was passed in the 70s. You're right. Yep. Derek said she had 100 days. Exactly. And then people are still like, oh, she lost by landslide. No, she did not. She did not. Stop it. And stop with the disrespect.
That
So,
part.
yes. But, I mean, after the debate, Joe scared me. Yeah. Joe, after that debate with Trump, I was like, he can't handle Trump. He can't handle Trump. Trump need a G. You gotta go up against a G. My fire is done. This little wood, honey. I ain't had no fire starter, but my little fire done went all the way out on me, y'all.
Yeah, they just said what I said earlier. Remember, I said we still gotta wait, because if they even overturn, if they man, let me tell you. Now that's what y'all got to worry about.
Okay, so before we get off of here, this is the part that y'all need to school me on, because I know I have seen things. My mom said that there was, like, some lost ballots. There was some found in the trash. It's a lot with them ballots. I'm not optimistic about a recount. What I'm thinking, though, with these I was thinking that before I seen they were like, okay, let's just throw out these charges. But I don't know if there's a possibility of anything being overturned. That part I'm not sure about. But if there is, that's when all hell gonna break loose.
That's what I'm like. Yeah,
because I had the nerve. Somebody, not to cut you off, but just to say this real quick. Somebody had the nerve to be like, when they won, I'm scared of what Democrats will do tonight. I say, you scared of us? We're not the ones that stormed the Capitol, yo. Like, where is this coming from? Why do y'all keep making stuff up? When have we ever shown signs of that? But y'all have shown all of the signs from A to Z. So when have we given y'all any clues that we were going to do that? Like, just win and be happy about it. But like that kind of like brainwashing almost, it feels like. Gaslighting. Okay, that's a better word. Because at the end of the day, like, what are you talking about, sir? Like, we are disappointed that we lost, but nobody's mad at y'all. Like, y'all are. Like, this whole, she's the Antichrist. This picture of her going around like this and then putting it up against Osiris and all that. Like, I have seen so many of my friends like, yo, what are you doing? I didn't even know you was that stupid. Like, why are we friends? Like,
I'm
what is
trying to
happening?
tell you.
This is what you're talking about. You won, and you're still putting pictures of this woman up here like this, like making stuff up. All of a sudden,
It's
everybody has a conspiracy theorist. When we was on YouTube talking about this stuff, everybody said we was crazy because we was spiritual, because we was grand rising it up like y'all was we crazy. But now y'all taking that same stance with this campaign that you have won, and you're trying to convince us that it's the prophecy. No, you voted, and if you believe that, he's in office right now. Then let's go there. That the mark of the beast is on your forehead with that "Make America Great Again." If you want to talk about that, like what? Why is it okay for you? What's good for the goose is good for the gander, like Grandma used to say.
right. Yeah, it's gonna be real interesting because there were even a lot of people that could not be found in the system. So a lot of those ballots were either absentees or like they were using a completely different address that had to do with the state.
Yeah,
So
I remember on election night, 14,000 in New Mexico had to be 14,000 people had to be contacted because their signatures didn't
in
match.
almost all of the states. So with that being said, I would not be surprised if the other option did happen because it has been set up for people to act a fool.
But you know, he said we should have a purge night too.
Uh,
See, the things that come out of his mouth as a president or former president or current president, as a leader of the country in any capacity, why do you want there to be a purge night?
right. They said they were
Y'all
talking.
see that?
Read what she said at the bottom. So she was talking about something else, but we were actually talking about them flipping this earlier. Brown versus Board. Not the Wu Tang is forever.
I feel like white conservatives would get extremely ugly if it was announced that Trump cheated. Oh, of course they are. Nobody said, and they was hollering about some cheating, honey, before he won. If he had a loss, though, that would have been the thing. It wouldn't have been fair. It would have been we cheated all day.
You saw what 123 said?
I meant that if they overturned Brown versus Board of Topeka, I don't know. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure about that policy. I don't want to speak out of turn. I'm not sure. But is that so? And that's the other thing with the school systems, though. He said that he wanted to get rid of the history. No more teaching slavery to children. No more teaching about the history of slavery to children. Any schools that were doing that they wouldn't receive any funding.
They said it basically stopped the Crow laws. I know you
Oh,
talking
the
about Jim
Jim Crow laws.
Crow. Yeah.
I gotta look that up. I gotta look it up and see and see the particulars before I even speak on it.
That
Because
was
I know,
insane.
yeah, yeah. I need to see the particulars of that. Because even with the Project 25 stuff too, like nobody, they claim they ain't know nothing about it. But then, what he just hired? Actually, somebody from my school said he hired the guy that wrote Project 25 recently. So the amount of stuff they're allowed to say, like the amount of lies that just nobody is held accountable for is crazy. Like I heard him say that. I don't know anything about that. Project 25, I don't know, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You
I
know?
remember.
And it's like and the whole like not teaching our kids their history, again, they're gonna know about it anyway. Like they want to get rid of certain books, they want to get rid of certain things. That's not gonna erase racism. So what you want them to not be able to recognize, they still gonna know you racist, even if you don't teach them about it. But honey, you can't not teach children about slavery. Like if you got a black parent that ain't trying to educate you about our past, then shame on them. But at the end of the day, I don't think that that's ever possible for them not to know anything. Maybe down the line, you can, kids might be born into the world and not really have knowledge of certain things. I mean, like our children don't be knowing. They didn't know that MC Hammer started the phrase "all good." They don't know that's why they say that. You know what I'm saying? So that was erased from that. They don't know about that. So maybe it's possible because people were like, "What? Are you kidding me?" My son was like, "He was like, stop playing with me." Yeah, y'all say that because of MC Hammer.
Right.
he needed that phrase. It's all good. So I mean, it's possible to erase history from people. I don't think that's healthy. I mean, there was growing up, there was a lot of things that my mom had experienced that I never experienced. But let me tell you something. My mom made sure we watched Roots, the next generation, the generation after that, Queen, the Sally Hemings story. You know, her and Thomas Jefferson was kicking it. He pretty much married her. She wasn't married. They weren't married, but they had all these kids and they were a family. So it's like I know about my history because of that, but that's also healthy for your children. I'm not an angry black woman because of it, but I'm a strong black woman because of it. And I feel like, I respect our ancestors a lot more because of it, because I know what they went through though. And so it's like for us to be so complacent, I don't feel like, well, my little vote child, my little honey, I don't know who I want in there. All of that, they turn it over. We went through all of that for nothing, is what they back there, what they up there saying.
Mm-hmm.
What did we get beat down for y'all for? I do have neighbors that didn't vote. They had a sign that said something like Wu-Tang is forever. Oh, okay, that's Jelani. Fool, you a fool. You a fool.
I was cracking up. Shut up.
There's a lot I learned. Derek said there's a lot I learned about our history in college, not public school. I don't know what to say about that. I think it's good that you learned it in college, but what would have happened if you didn't go to college? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this guy. It's giving Nazi Germany, Germany, Lemuria said. Ain't it though? Like, it's giving a whole lot of things. It's giving a dictatorship. It's giving, we're going back 100 years. That's what it's giving. And maybe that's the plan. I mean, remember the Georgia Guidestones? They blew them up, but I didn't have a chance to go see them. But like, there was a whole game plan in the Georgia Guidestones, and it was something about controlling the population at the end of that. And it was just like, I don't know if this has been an agenda forever. I'm not sure. Somebody that claims we don't have, climate change doesn't exist, but she's the dumb one, though. She's the one that ain't educated. The stuff that came out of his mouth, it was so many examples. I don't even want to misquote him, but it was so many examples that we made fun of when he was in office, of the things that came out of his mouth. And how is she the one that's stupid? It just don't sit right with me. We so quick to call a black woman stupid with all the education she has, with everything that's going on. She's the vice president of the country for right now. How did she get there? With all of her accolades, and people want to go back to her. She threw a lot of black men in jail because of weed. No, actually, she fought for weed to be a minor crime, but and not be held to the same standards as like heroin. I can't ever say that word. Crack trafficking. Drug trafficking and all that. She was trying to diminish the penalties for weed, but y'all forget she was still district attorney, and whatever that law says, she has to follow. And if you don't want to get thrown in jail, you know the law in your state, just don't do shit. You know what I'm saying? If I know I'm in a spot where it's not safe to, it's legal, weed is legal here in Colorado, but you're still not supposed to drive smoking it because it's a DUI. Now, if you want to take that chance because it's a legal state, that's on you. But don't be mad if somebody pull you over, you get that $14,000 fine though, because it's the law. Because they have to go ahead and charge you with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that that's not extra. I'm just saying that's what it is. So she had no choice but to do her job. I don't understand why that is holding so much weight with so many people with all that this man has done. Nobody has explained it to me yet that made sense. So stop playing with me, black men out here. She ain't for y'all. She did, she that. Like, stop. He's not for y'all. Cut it out. I'm sorry. So it's strange, and I'm praying for our country. I'm praying that everybody, we need to stick together though. One of my final thoughts here is that the division is going to be that, but it's like, it we know as people of color how we were raised. And it's like, if you my cousin, I might not like you. Like that argument I had with my cousin on Facebook, that was my blood cousin, y'all. Handed him his ass. But you say something about it. If y'all try to jump him, I'm gonna have to jump him. I'm gonna have to. I can't let you beat him down. So that's how we need to be about each other. We are in this together. I don't care if we do not see eye to eye. We are family, y'all. And we need to talk to our friends that is out here going crazy. And we need to find a way to come together. Because when the shit hits the fan, we need our black men. Our black men need to protect our black women and our black sons. I have a black son. He was just on here. I don't know if he left or not. He on the road with his dad. But at the end of the day, he is a 22-year-old grown man, and I fear for him with these attitudes running around. Black men was with Aubrey just jogging in the neighborhood and got killed. Trayvon Martin, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor. I know I'm not saying everybody's name, but y'all get it. So we need to look out for each other because they're not going to do it. And I don't care what y'all say. I don't care what economic policy you're trying to stand on. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. The price of damn eggs and gas is not that serious. We can carpool, and I'm going to knock on my neighbor's door. You got a couple of eggs I can borrow? I'm in the middle of making this cake. I thought I had some eggs. Got some eggs? You know what I'm saying? We have always, in my family, like, I don't care if we ain't got nothing. My grandma didn't have nothing. They were poor, but if you were hungry, we're going to find a way to feed you. We need to figure it out, y'all. They don't know us like we do. So let's not get it twisted out here, you know? Yeah. So shit goes down, we need to be able to knock on each other's doors. We need to be able, you know what I'm saying, to be like, Auntie got the kids. You go do what you got to do. I'm going to run down the street real quick and handle this. You got the kids? I got the kids. I got the kids. All right. Like, we need to be there for each other because they don't even understand us like we do. So this is getting stupid to me. It's getting crazy. And I think that's why it's so much anger, so much emotion. It's why I'm just like, huh? Like, we're supposed to be loving on each other right now. We're supposed to be, like, armed up, linked up. You know what I'm saying? Like my homegirl, Christina Vidal, who you guys are Titan fans on here. I know her sister, Lisa Vidal, has been very vocal and stuff. Like, black and brown. We need to when I hang out at her house and I hang out with her sisters, like we feel like family to me. Feel like my cousins and them. You know what I'm saying? We're the same. So like, please, y'all, don't be so mad to the point where we are sitting ducks out here for them. Because that's the agenda. Those that didn't get out there and vote and exercise their voice, that was their plan. Trust and believe. Trust. And as close as that race was, with Elon out here giving people $1 million a day, she could have won if we'd have done right. Even with them 100 days, she could have won. So, and plenty of people are crying about it and like begging her to run again in 4 years. Let's pray she has that opportunity. Let's not let our guards down. Let's continue to stand for the things that we believe in and we know is right. Let's not get caught up in this religious rhetoric to the point where it's like people are like God guilting us, making us feel like we atheists because we want to stand for what's right and that's it. Because here's the thing, if you don't agree with something, okay, one last point. Here in Colorado, right? I remember there was a case. This wasn't recent, a couple years ago. Lady makes wedding invitations. Because of her religious beliefs, she didn't want to create invitations for a gay couple.
I remember.
Yeah. And so she was in court about it. And if they pass that law, now you might be one of those people that don't believe in gay marriage, right? But if they pass that law, that also means she could say, I don't want to make black folks either. Matter of fact, I don't like Jews either. It's okay at that point because we have made it okay for her to have that prerogative. It's not just about the gay couple anymore. It's about everybody. So whether you believe it or not, or believe in it or not, you have to look at the bigger picture because it doesn't stop there. You can't have it both ways. You cannot. So careful what you ask for. The main people out here that are homophobic and anti this and anti that, child, you're gonna end up with a gay child. And then what you gonna do? Because I don't give a damn what I feel. The devil in hell can't make me denounce my child. And I'll say it to the ends of the earth. There are some things that we all like feel like should be tweaked or feel like this or feel like that. But when it comes to your kid, there's a movie with Sigourney Weaver. She was that parent that pretty much wanted to disown her kid because he was gay and then he committed suicide. And then it was like, okay, which one? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I wish I would have just accepted it because now I lost my child. You know what I'm saying? So just look at the big picture of everything and stop trying to like push your views on somebody else. That doesn't mean you have to believe in it. That doesn't mean you have to be for it. It doesn't mean you have to be against it. Doesn't mean any of those things. It means you have to be you have to look at the big picture and understand it's not just about you. And it's never going to be that black and white. Never. You cannot have one without the other when it comes to the law. So let's stand for the laws that make us all a united nation. And some things is, like I said, a personal choice. You don't want to be friends with those people. You don't want to be associated with certain things. You don't want to co-sign stuff in your personal life. That is all up to you. That is your personal view. But we are a democracy. We worship differently. You know, we all have our personal choices, and that's what America is about. The fabric of America. We are all that, and that is the beauty of it, the freedom for us to make these choices. Like, stop trying to push your agenda on other people, baby. You are not everybody's mama or daddy. Handle your business at home. Worry about your own kids. But when it comes to politics, we got to be careful with that. Because you want to be so religious right now, and it's God this and God that. Okay, get up here talking about grand rising and see how they feel about that. Go and bust out them crystals and that ankh instead of that crucifix and see how they feel about that. It's never gonna be what you want it to be. So keep them out of your business. That's the best thing. Just keep them out of it. That's all you gotta do. And that's it. So with that being said, it is what it is. But anybody else got anything to say? That is my opinion. Anybody that come on my page with the mess, be prepared because I'm with the shits. Don't disrespect me on my page. Say what you gotta say, but say it right. That's it. I don't got my way. I skim by a lot of posts because I'm like, they posting what they want to on their page. But let's be clear, you come on my page in them comments, you better say it right. That's all I got. Because I have a good time handing you your ass.
That
Every
part.
time. We go toe to toe over there. Trust me.
For sure.
But I love you. I love you. What would have happened if I didn't go to a HBCU? Derek said, "That's right." See, and I know. Yeah, I would not see if you weren't at. Lemurian said, "Where's Olivia Pope, child?" Okay.
Facts. Where is she? Where is she when you need her?
Cause she know the real one. You know that was based off a real story, y'all. So she know the real one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we also I'll scratch your back if you scratch mine type ish. Yes. Maybe one of Trump's mistresses will slip him a little something in his drink. Okay, take him out. I lived in New York. I lived in one of Trump's buildings. I lived in Trump Park in New York when I was growing up in high school. I lived 6
Hey,
parts south, and
Rosanna.
I lived. Huh?
I was saying hi to somebody.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I lived in one of his buildings. It was just funny because she said something about one of Trump's mistresses, and yeah, I lived in Trump Park in New York City. This is the reason why I wasn't like on the whole he won't rent to black folks. There was an owner of our apartment that we sublet it from. So he probably didn't even know we were there. But Robin Givens lived in my building, Tony Bennett and y'all and Marla Maples, his first wife. She was in there too. And when I tell you I got on the elevator, y'all, and Monica Lewinsky was in that elevator, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know my face. I didn't know how to do my face. I couldn't. I wanted to stare at her, but I didn't. Like I didn't know how to act. So when she said something about the mistress, I was like, "Oh, I remember a story."
Ha. Thank you, Haynes. Inglewood.
Yeah, and some Derek said, if you don't believe in gay marriage, then don't do it. Let other people do what they want to do. And it's and it, like that's a rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a sad thing when people have been together for 100 years, and one of their partner dies, and then they have no rights to anything. That's very sad. You know, and the family that didn't believe in that gay marriage can come and just rip everything from them. Like is an HBO story. It's old, but it was like one of those stories where it's like three different stories that they make into like one movie. And one of the stories was that, and I can't remember the name of it, but it was so sad. It's like to see an older woman, you know, in her late 60s, her partner died, and then the kids came in and took everything from her, and she was pretty much homeless because they weren't legally married. She had no rights to it. So that was before gay marriage was legal. So now they're trying to go back to that, you know. So I seen some lady on Facebook who was a how do you say it? Officiant. How do you say that? You don't you have that license where you can marry people? What do you call it?
No, what? I was sitting here, girl. I was just like, what? You said it. I was like, well, I'm an ordained minister.
I don't want to sound ignorant,
No,
but she said she what is
I'm an ordained
oh,
minister.
oh, you're an ordained minister.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so she wasn't an ordained minister. She was just, you know, because you can have that without being an actual minister too, just like the you know, officiator, I think it's called. But
Yeah,
anyway,
you
she said
said
she
it.
was offering yeah, she was offering to marry, you know, gay couples free because they're about to overturn that law.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah.
But now, if they overturn the law, will it still be legal?
That's what I was wondering. That's
Right.
what I was wondering. So God bless America, y'all. That's, that's all I got to say. I don't have a problem with gay marriage. I don't have a problem with anybody being gay. Even the transgender stuff, I just feel like they should be of age, you know, so they can make sure that that's really what they want to do. Because I'm like, to each his own. Even when it comes to a tattoo, I'm like, they shouldn't let them get tattoos until they're 18 because you might change your mind. The kids don't know what they want until, you know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying with stuff like that. I don't even want to get into them like back and forth about that. But I believe in human rights. I believe people should be allowed to live their life the way they want to. I believe in freedom. So, uh, yeah. Because like I said, and I'll say it to the ends of the earth. I don't care who throw what scripture in my face. The devil in hell couldn't make me denounce my child. He's very much a heterosexual. Very, but if he was not, honey, we best friends already. We would just be the best girlfriends
You
ever.
are still.
We're shopping today, honey. Let's stop playing with me. Y'all can't never make me denounce my child. Me and God gonna have a debate if he could, because he's not gonna ask me to do that. You gave me that child, so I don't believe he would ask me to do that. But if he did, we just gonna have to have a conversation. Be like, God, what's up? Why would you give me this child? I don't know what. Look, that's my baby. So, honey, that's what we doing out here. You gonna tell me shit about mine?
Con.
So, huh? Telling you that. But anyway, y'all, I love y'all. And if there ain't no more comments that we missed, you see anything?
No.
Yes. Love y'all. Thank you, actress Rosetta. Thank you, Courtney. Yes. Thank you, Jerome Hollingsworth. I missed anybody. Hey, boo. Oh, yeah, she did say hey. You said hey to her already.
Mm-hmm.
Samuel Levant, it's time for all black people to be unapologetically black. I heard that. Yes. Rashad said, hey, Angelique Bates, did you see that?
Yeah. Hey. Yep. That was the
Yep.
Inglewood.
Yes. Samuel said we got to write out our wills. Don't we got to put it down in ink, baby? We need to make it plain, baby. Yes, honey. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, actress. Was that? Thank you, Al. Al.
No.
Okay, two snaps in a circle. I love y'all. Yes, love you. We will see y'all later. We'll probably jump on TikTok for a second. We'll see what it's looking like. Maybe, maybe not. But at the end of the day, I think we said a lot over here.
Mhm.
And we appreciate y'all for joining. We're gonna hit this next Thursday. Listen, I'm stuck in Colorado. I wish y'all could see. I wish y'all could see the sun. It's like icicles on the thing. Y'all can't see. We're gonna go outside for 1 second. And I'm gonna let y'all see. Hold on. It's like icicles on the thing. We ain't even got decorated for Christmas, y'all. It's freezing out here. Hold up. Can I turn this around? Yeah, I can turn it around.
Yeah.
Hold on. There it go. No, it's not turning
It
around on
will.
y'all.
It's
There it is.
so yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
You see the icicles? And that's the roof next door. Don't it look like somebody made that?
Yeah, it does.
This is the outside the window. It's freezing. Look at all of this snow,
Oh my
y'all.
gosh.
Yeah, it just stopped coming down. So they said we're supposed to have 8 to 12 inches. So I don't know. Denver didn't even get as much as us. I'm in Colorado Springs. This is higher elevation, and you can't even see the mountains. Normally, you can see Pikes Peak and Cheyenne Mountain. That's where NORAD is. That's why I saw that little UFO thing. Y'all look at my TikTok.
Right.
It's on there. It's on my Instagram too.
I just had
But yeah,
to
that's
take a picture for the kids. I just took a
yeah.
screenshot like, hey.
Oh, I wish they was here. Let me tell you, the dog is loving it. She has never, I don't think she's seen snow before, but you can't even see the mountains over there. Like normally you can see them. So
Wow.
yeah, it's
That is
crazy. I sink
beautiful.
in it. I know, don't it look good? So Angela, mom was like, Angela, come. I told her he was gonna try to come. She's like, tell her to come.
Great. Yes. Because I looked at snow. I was
You
like,
should meet
I'm
that dude. Derek
dreaming.
illustrated my book. Derek illustrated my book, Military Brat. So he's so dope. He's so dope. He does animation as well, comic books. So Derek, yes, I'm gonna take some pictures for you, but it's beautiful. This ain't even like I have to ride and get you like one of those mountain pictures. So yeah, it's gorgeous, but it's cold. It's like 2 degrees walking around out here. Going in the house.
Right.
Going in the house, but yeah. All right, love y'all, and yeah. So hopefully I will be
Turn it back
on the road
around.
soon. Oh yeah, yeah. Because the house is a mess. We're doing renovations, so I got stuff everywhere. I got stuff everywhere. So we're trying to get out of here, y'all. We got some stuff being delivered tomorrow. So we'll see. Maybe I'll be back home next week. Maybe not. I don't know. At some point. Brandon was like, Chad, you done moved.
Right?
Peace, Jelani. Love y'all. We out of here. Just wanted to give y'all the view, and yeah, we will see y'all later.
All right.
We around. So yeah, peace.
Peace.